Eritrea is not for sale. Eritrea is not for sale. Not for Iran, not for Israel, not for the United States, for nobody. Do we need weapons from Iran? If we want to give it to anyone, we don't need weapons from Iran. We have enough, we have more than we need. We can arm 3-4 governments. We don't need weapons from Iran. We do not have the political will to work on behalf of anyone in this region, never.
Are you using Somalia as a battleground to fight Ethiopia?
It's not a battleground with Ethiopia. This border issue was a senseless conflict instigated by the United States in the first place, for the record. And we went to arbitration, and arbitration was done almost 8 years now, 2002, and the decision was taken. And that decision is blocked by the United States. It's not blocked by Ethiopia. Ethiopia does not have the resource and the means to block any decision of arbitration and implementation. It's a cover-up for the failure of the misguided policies of the United States in the Horn of Africa for the last 20 years.
Is this also a fabrication? The United Nations said that you spend $200,000 to $500,000 a month supporting fighters.
Where?
In Somalia and around the region. That's from the United Nations?
Well, it's boring. It's boring. When jokes are repeated again and again, it becomes so boring.
Please explain to me what your relationship is with Sudan. You have alleged links to GEM as well as the SLA.
That is again a distortion of history. It's a deliberate distortion of facts.
The Sudanese government says that it stopped GEM fighters from coming into your country, that you've got camps within.
No Sudanese government or official has said that, because they can't prove that. And it's said in the name of Sudanese officials and to the Sudanese government, this is a deliberate distortion of facts. Where are the evidences? Can you prove to anyone that you have evidences to tell a story about Eritrea shipping arms to anywhere in the region?
You have a relationship with both Iran, though you say there's no Iranian presence, as well as Israel. How do you balance?
How can you
so did you say you have no relationship with Iran?
Not at all. Do you think, how can you possibly logically understand this contradictory
That's why
reality?
I'm asking you.
Why would you ask? Why would you ask without evidences? These are lies of Jazeera International, deliberately distorting facts to give the impression that this country is in a war footing, and so many things. Iran is here, Israel is here, we are supporting Houthis, we are supporting terrorists, you name it. You are using these lies to serve an agenda for destabilizing this region.
I would never do anything to attempt to
destabilize the region.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of the truth.
Lies without providing any evidences, and trying to blame it on the United Nations sometimes when the United Nations has not said anything, blame it on the government of Sudan when Sudan has not said anything.
Okay, let's talk about the people who live in this country. If I can just quote these to you, the United Nations stats estimate that almost 63,000 Eritreans applied for asylum last year alone, and that 1,800 cross over every month into Sudan. Why?
According to those reports, the population of this country is out of town by yesterday. It's a good exercise for a journalist to ask questions about a number of things, but to come up with a pack of lies, a pack of fabrications, and try to prove them by putting them as very innocent questions and trying to give credibility or trying to discredit your sources. You're discrediting the sources, you're discrediting the United Nations when you come and tell things in the name of the United Nations when the United Nations has not said anything like that. And how can a media outlet with credibility come up with these lies?
Let's talk about the drought in the Horn of Africa. Eritrea, like all the other countries, is suffering from this. And yet you are reluctant to let aid workers into your country. What is the justification for that?
When we have enough food, why do we need someone to feed us?
Because 2/3 of your population are starving.
Why do people want to spoon feed us when we have enough food?
But then how come 2/3 of the population are not getting that food?
I mean, then again, how can you possibly imagine and say, I am hungry when I'm not hungry? Why do you want to believe that? Why do you want to believe people are hungry and people are in need of your support? Why do you want to believe that? That's a very, very sad state of mind for people who think they can come and feed people when they're not even in need of feeding. Go and feed the people of the victims of Katrina. Go and feed the people in Haiti if you really want to.
So there's no food or aid problem?
We don't need any food. We can feed ourselves. And I'm bothered, why do you want to feed us?